Welcome to the April 2nd Planning Board meeting. On the menu today, we have review minutes from March 19th, and then we are going to consider a special permit application for 24 Lake Drive from Jason Hogg. And let's start with the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at those?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Oh, we have to do it.
I was-
roll call.
Roll.
Oh, yeah, roll call.
Nancy,
Oh, okay.
can you take yourself off mute, please?
She
You're
said,
on mute, Nancy.
You're still on mute.
You're still on
You're
mute.
muting, dear.
she said yes.
Okay, so I,
We
Nancy.
have a visual.
All right, hi, Kate.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Marie.
I wasn't here.
Okay, so Nancy, just so you know, you are on mute, so you might want to figure that out before too long. All right, so next up, we have the special permit for 24 Lake Drive from Jason Hogg. This is a special permit that came before the board before. And Shannon is here to explain what is being applied for.
Okay, so as you said, this was a application in front of the planning board in 2020. And it expired, so we're back. So this is 24 Lake Drive. This is the outlet of Stockbridge Bowl. There's a large wetland here. Trees, shrubs, vegetated wetland. And we are proposing and have approval from the Conservation Commission.
It's working now.
An order of conditions and an extension for a single-family house, septic system, and well up here with stormwater management. So when the house is built, they would like to get to a dock. So we have proposed a boardwalk that will come through this wetland down to a dock. The dock is 25 feet in length, 200 square feet in size. The boardwalk, this line here, is 150 feet from the high water line of Stockbridge Bowl. So this is the section of the boardwalk that we are asking for approval on. It's going to be 42 inches wide, 30 inches tall, on 3/4 inch helical piers with 1/2 inch spacing between the boards. In doing that, the sunlight is allowed to pass through and under the boardwalk and not kill the vegetation that's underneath it. When this is constructed, we're asking that vegetation can be trimmed, like some of the shrubs, but nothing cut flush with grade, and it'll be allowed to grow after the construction, come through and basically weed whack the boardwalk to keep the vegetation down so you can safely walk through, but no disturbance in the wetland. And this construction is considered zero disturbance to the wetland
And
by
the
DEP.
piers are black locust, is that right?
The boardwalk will be black locust. The piers are the helical piers, they're steel.
Okay.
Gracing.
And no trees are coming down.
Nope.
Just, are you going to cut any back?
Some branches might have to be limbed. Here in this section, the Conservation Commission gave them a little bit of leniency as to where this goes. So we can work around any of the larger bushes or trees. This section here, we're right up against our zoning setbacks.
Okay.
The structure, we have to maintain those setbacks. So coming through here, some branches may need to be cut back. It's not a densely wooded area. There are some trees, but not huge ones. You know, they're all pretty small that they can work around, just limbing some.
Are there invasives like buckthorn, that type of thing? More than welcome to cut those.
Okay.
Shannon, I didn't see, did you include a representative profile of the deck in the application? Maybe I missed it. I didn't see that.
No,
Is that something that you could provide?
sure.
Okay.
This is Tom Ingersoll design,
Mhm.
and he has built boardwalks just like this in other parts of the town of Stockbridge.
Okay, so I think, David asked about that, and if that's something that you could,
Yep, I have one.
condition, that would be great.
Which is what, Kate? Does that show how
like
high
a-
it is off the ground?
No, they provided that information, which was, I think, what was it, 30 feet and then 42 inches wide?
30 inches high,
Yeah.
42 inches
Which
wide.
is great, because, things can pass
What are
underneath.
you asking for?
It's like a sort of a side view.
Yeah, it shows the
Like an
the
elevation.
posts and the bracing
Mhm.
plan for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I have.
That would be great. Okay,
Is,
so you already have that?
I do have it in the office.
Okay, so if you can just send that to Jennifer, that would be great.
we have a question. Is this the same boardwalk we permitted before? Exactly the same design? You have not
Exactly the same.
changed
Nothing has
anything?
changed.
Okay.
Is there any other questions here?
There's a machine that they use to put the piers in, right? So that how will that work?
This will be done from the boardwalk. So they'll build one section and then they'll use a
Oh, okay.
generator
Yeah,
to screw these in. It
Yeah.
won't be the one that comes behind the
Right.
truck. No, it'll be a generator that.
okay,
So you won't be
screws them in and
using,
then One piece, move
Mhm.
the generator
yeah.
and one,
so no heavy machinery in the wetland area?
nope.
David, any questions or comments? David Cameron?
I actually went to this site last Monday, and took a look at it. It's a pretty wet wetland. It looks like is it a floodplain, Shannon, of the Stockbridge Bowl outlet?
No, it is not.
Not in the floodplain.
It's hit or miss. Sometimes it's bone dry and sometimes it's really wet.
Yeah, I think the
Yes,
timing when I was there last week, it was pretty wet. I wasn't able to actually easily walk from the site out to Stockbridge Bowl. But in general, I have no problem with wetland boardwalks. I think I'm actually working on some boardwalk projects myself right now. I find that they're a great way to get people out into wetlands in a very non-intrusive way. And this is why a lot of nonprofit environmental organizations have hiking trails with boardwalks on them, because they actually get people out into wetlands and allow them to appreciate them a little bit more. So I have no problem with boardwalks. I think that, like Kate said, I think the site plan would benefit from a profile view of a single section of the boardwalk, just to show in a little bit more detail what it's going to look like. So there'll be helical piers that'll be steel. You're talking about a 30-inch height. So is that 30 inches? And this is a rhetorical question, Shannon, but is that 30 inches from to the bottom of the deck, to the top of the deck, to the bottom of the stringers? Just detail that kind of fleshes that out a little bit more. I like the fact that you're calling the alignment of the boardwalk approximate. I think that's good, because that gives the contractor some wiggle room to work in and around trees. It doesn't have to be necessarily a straight line from point A to B. It actually allows for these individual sections to move around trees. Bear with me, I'm just looking at my notes here. I think if the intent is to not cut trees, the construction notes in the plan might say that explicitly, instead of just, I think it says, tree limbs may be cut. So whether it's added to the plan, or the commission wants to consider a condition that just says something like, and I'm just tossing this out there, no trees greater than 3-inch diameter breast height to be cut without prior approval. I mean, you may run into a situation, Shannon, where the contractor has to cut a few trees here or there just because it doesn't work without that. That's not the end of the world, but the goal should be to try to, eliminate or avoid tree removal. I think the height that's proposed is good. I've done a little bit of research on this on my own projects. I found that the height of the boardwalk and the spacing between the decking helps to get light through so that the vegetation underneath can grow, but it's less of an issue if you're in a forested wetland. This wetland's kind of a multi-habitat wetland. Parts of it are forested, parts of it are shrub, parts of it are a little bit more open. If you've got a fairly enclosed canopy, seems like it doesn't matter how high off the ground you elevate the boardwalk, there's not much that's going to grow anyway. So I think 30 inches for height is good. I think that's adequate. I would suggest to the planning board that there's a condition that prior to construction of the boardwalk, the center line of the ultimate alignment is staked out. And then gives the planning board the option to go inspect it and to see what trees are there that may need to be cut.
It was actually staked prior to our original application, and for the Conservation Commission, the center line was. Whether it's even still there, I don't know, but if you would like to have that done again, we certainly can.
Okay.
It's just a suggestion.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think that's all. The decking is proposed to be black locust, Shannon?
Yes,
Yeah, and so it won't be treated.
correct.
Okay, that might be either explicitly stated in the plan or a condition. That stuff, I actually used some black locust in a project, in a stream restoration project a few weeks ago, and the guy that I was working with is a forester, and he says that stuff untreated lasts 70 to 80 years.
Wow.
As fence posts, so there's really no reason to treat it, and I don't think the board wants it to be treated. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. Okay, if there's no more questions from the board, I'm going to ask, is there anyone here on Zoom who wishes to speak in favor? Please raise your hand.
I have a
Nancy?
question.
Yep.
Is black locust slippery when it's wet?
No, it is not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's not like the composite woods.
Okay. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? I don't know who's on the ski slopes there. Sorry.
Hi, this is Brian at Stiefel. I'm just on, I live next door to the property at 22 Lake Drive, so I was just calling in for Lake Drive to hear what was going on.
Okay, all right. Did you have any comments you wanted to make?
No, I was also on the call in 2020, so I have an idea of what's happening.
Okay, good. All right, so with that, I think we can entertain a motion to close the public hearing so that the board can deliberate.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
I,
I, Nancy, I, Kate.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Wayne.
Okay, great. All right, so what do you think, guys? We've got 4 conditions here that David is recommending. Any thoughts?
I would say recommend and add the 4 conditions, and
Okay.
I would say it'd be fine.
All right, so I'm going to read off the conditions, and they are no trees greater than 3 inches in diameter, cut without prior approval. Number 2, provide a representative profile of the deck, which it sounds like you already have, Shannon. Number 3, center line staked out. And number 4, the black locust decking will be untreated. Do I have a motion to approve with those 4 conditions?
So, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve with those
I'll second it.
conditions.
Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
Aye.
Oh, we gotta do
Aye.
it.
Say hi, Nancy.
Hi,
Hi, Nancy.
yes,
Thank you. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Wayne.
Okay, so we have, we also have findings that we probably should have done before, but let's do those quickly now. The findings are, before granting a special permit for any use requiring such permit under the provisions of this bylaw, the special permit granting authority shall find that the proposed use is in compliance with all provisions and requirements of this bylaw and in harmony with its general intent and purpose, yes? It is essential to or desirable to the public convenience or welfare at the proposed location. will not be detrimental to adjacent uses or to the established or future character of the neighborhood, will not create undue traffic congestion or unduly impair pedestrian safety. Yep. Will not overload any public water drainage or sewer system or any other municipal facility to such an extent that the proposed use or any existing use in the immediate area or in any other area of the town will be unduly subjected to the hazards of affecting public health, safety, and general welfare. Okay? And let's see, you've got to be filled out by the board. You have your locus map, you have the scale drawing. I'm not sure if you show grading and drainage plan with 2-foot and 5-foot contour
We
lines.
don't have grading out here. It's
Yeah, I'll just put NA. Yeah, I'll put NA. And a time schedule, I'm gonna just, you guys are, there's no time schedule, but this is a boardwalk. I think we can assume that,
Yeah, the house has to be built first.
yeah, so.
So how many, you have 3 years to do this? Is that what happened before
Yes.
it ran out?
Yeah,
You have 3 years to get this done? Is that
Oh,
correct?
3 years for the
2 years.
3 years.
2 years to get this done.
Okay, and Shannon, what Conservation Commission reviewed this and what was their opinion?
They issued an order of conditions and in January, they issued an extension for 3 years.
Okay, so we are all set. And you have your special permit. All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you, David.
All right, good night, folks.
Good
All
night.
right, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, so that's it. We have I just want to mention at the next meeting, we're going to have the Housing Trust folks here. So you all have copies of the plan, right? The draft plan?
Yeah.
So take a look at it, read it carefully. Be prepared to, ask those questions.
Start now and read. It's that big.
It's a lot of information.
So, they wanted to be here tonight, but I was down to Boston and back today and I wasn't sure I'd get back on time. So I asked that they come on the 16th.
So is this just a discussion next week on that?
Not a hearing or anything. It's just a discussion and, this is it's an opportunity for you to ask questions and really, understand what's being proposed here in this plan.
Okay, this is mostly for our board. It's not a big public
Well,
board.
I think they want to do a presentation and that's up to us. Okay, so if you would like for them to do a presentation, that's our call. If you'd prefer to just start with a discussion to review the plan carefully and have a discussion as a board, we can do that too.
And then reserve the presentation till after that?
It's up to the board.
How long would you say the presentation took? Because it's really rather,
It was,
They were-
that with discussion was maybe a little over an hour. I mean, we were here an hour maybe. And they went through, they had a presentation. And the presentation was helpful. I think if you just tell us to read it and then they kind of talk about it, we don't always read it.
I wonder if we
think
could, I think we could.
I think the presentation
I think
helps.
we could get a copy of the presentation to see before we come here.
I think that would be good.
Because then we're,
Can you send us that
I
presentation?
can't, but I can arrange to have it.
Well, I haven't had much luck getting material from your chair, so.
Well,
But it
we
was
should be
nice.
asking Jan. Jan's the one who has
Okay,
copies.
all
of
right.
But it was nice for them to talk about it because I think we understood it a lot better. And you heard comments from other people, which made you understand it more. There's a lot of information.
Yeah,
What I recommend is that you read it carefully and you think critically. You think for yourself. Now, if they start with a presentation, this is, a board that is self-selected to promote affordable housing.
Right, we need to know at first what they're saying.
I'd like you to do is to read it carefully and
Yes.
be prepared to ask the tough questions.
right. And they're going to be going to the planning or the select board the same week.
Mhm.
Do you think there's any reason that the two boards shouldn't meet together?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, my recommendation is that we start with the planning board.
Okay.
But, it's up to you guys too, not my call.
Why don't we look it over first? or we
I
collaborate?
I committed them to, I told them they could come on the 16th. So they are down for the 16th.
Meaning the
So
The committee.
the committee wants to come on the 16th to the planning board and then to, the Affordable Housing Trust Committee. And then on the 18th, I think they're planning to go, on a Thursday, they're planning to go to the select board.
Now, will the select board meeting be a decisive type meeting, or is that again just a educational
I think
type?
it's educational. I mean, Patrick and I are both on the board. So Patrick's got a good idea, but I'm not sure if Chucky and Jamie
Mhm,
grip on it yet.
mhm.
And I think they'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick was here for our meeting too, because he's on the board. So,
Well, this is where you want to think about, how you want to structure, whether you want the planning board to have the opportunity to have a discussion. Or, do you want it to be, it can become difficult with two boards
right.
for the planning board to actually have, a discussion without.
So somehow he has to divorce himself from the select board because he's supposed to be here for the Affordable Housing Trust because he's on that board. And he's got more information than most of us can stuff in here. And he's got a good grip on grants and things that some of us struggle with. So, and that's part of why this was even done, was for the grant, to be able to get the grants. So, so that'll come, it should become clear. Jan can certainly present it very well.
So I think she asked for 20 minutes to present.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
not
think
that
that's
long.
fine.
Are you guys okay with that?
Have her
Nancy-
be
Nancy has her
here
hand up.
our next meeting?
Mhm.
And so is this the board or the committee that let them tell us about it? This coming
Affordable
meeting?
Housing Trust Committee would like to present for 20 minutes
To us,
Or
to
more.
us
I think it's more.
and,
and then a discussion afterwards.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
just
I-
requested it.
I think you should definitely send that presentation around.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to present and we don't really have time to review that presentation, that will make it a little bit more difficult to.
I think it makes it very clear too. I think it really boils a lot of what we're going to be reading down into understandable chunks. I mean, there's a lot of redundancy in some of it, and it helps to just get a clear picture of why, essentially. And then from there, it's like how. So,
Yeah, I would be in agreement to that.
I can't wait to
We
see
gotta-
the recording of the Thursday night meeting, because I really want to know what the questions were.
Do you have one?
No, I'll have to get it.
Oh, yeah, Jen, because there was one here. Liz left one last.
Right, and I can send around, the recording if you guys want to see it of the Thursday meeting.
Okay, it should be on CTSP too.
I'm sorry, Jen?
You have a question?
Nancy might have.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Nancy.
Oh, I was just wondering how many people from that board will be at the next meeting? Are we going to have room in our little room there?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
There are only 7 of us, I think, on the board.
Only 7.
7 or 9, I don't remember. It's
So there'll
not,
be like 14 of us at the meeting at our next planning
Well,
board meeting?
Well, Nancy, they're going to present, so,
Yeah.
I don't envision 14 of us sitting
No,
on this
and I-
table.
and
They're just,
some of
they're
them-
here to present, just as if it was, an application or something, somebody will present. I assume that will be their consultant, but I don't really know.
Okay. I'm
Okay?
just wondering how many are going to be
Yeah.
there. That's all.
not sure. I don't know the exact number.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
I mean, it will be, we'll run the meeting so that it isn't a free-for-all and. And then-
Sort of like a roundtable discussion kind of thing. right?
Or
I
just,
think it's more of a presentation and then,
Oh, okay.
questions and answers and so on.
and but they're looking for our input as well. I mean, they would really like to know from a planning board standard, what is the standpoint, what we can do or what, how we feel about it. So,
Okay,
Okay, all right. So with that,
An agenda thing for next meeting though,
yeah,
Realtor signs.
okay. All right,
you love them?
Well, they never come down.
That's, I've noticed a few, haven't
Hmm.
you?
okay, got it.
Unless they just can't sell.
Well, these
All
are the
right.
ones that have sold.
Okay,
Okay,
I
so
know what you're.
everybody else set?
Yeah,
Wayne, do you want a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in
Second.
favor? Hi, Nancy. Oh, what, Nancy?
oh, we gotta, yeah,
Say aye.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Kate.
Gary,
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Wayne.
Thank you.
Aye, aye.
all right.